I am Jon Najarian, or Dr. J. Just finishing a trade right here. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let's get into the 3 at 3, shall we? This should be fun today because there's a lot of movement, a lot of stocks that did pretty well, and let's get into it. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Presentation start. There we go. 3 at 3 house call with Dr. J. All right. Disclaimer, this is for informational purposes only and perhaps educational, but it is certainly not investment advice. All right, let's go. PayPal, put it up yesterday, as you know, because if you're a regular viewer of UOA or unusual option activity, you know that we post these and try to get as close to 3 o'clock every day as we can, 3 o'clock Eastern, that is. And we had May 110 calls being bought for, let's call it $5, somewhere between 470 and 550, depending where you were lucky enough to buy them. They were way over the open interest. So the things that we needed to be aware of was, one, it's 1 month into the future. These are May expiration. This today is April expiration. Okay, 1 month into the future. Two, they paid $5 for 5,000. That's $500, folks, because every option's for 100 shares. So you move that decimal place 2 over, and you see that, okay, $500. Well, $500 times 5,000, that's pretty expensive, and that's a big bet. I want to follow that kind of money. So here's why. Today, instead, by the way, when we did that yesterday, stock was at 107 and 60 cents, right? Today it trades $3 higher than that. In fact, it's been through 111 today. And as it did go up there, this is what happened. Those options that you purchased, like I said, let's round it to $5, moved all the way up to $7.25. That's a nice return on your $500 investment, because for every option you owned at $500 yesterday is worth at least $725 today. So again, $225 profit on a $500 investment. That sounds like the kind of investments I like to make. Bang! Let's take a look at the next one, shall we? Whoops, let's see. Yeah, there it is, Gilead. And into the close yesterday, we had other Gilead options hitting. For instance, the April 80s. But during the day yesterday, early as you can see, it says 416 at 10:34 in the morning. We saw Gilead, when the stock was $74, we saw Gilead trading a ton of the August 80 calls. And they paid about $6 for them, 580 to 670. Call it 6, call it 650, whatever you want. So we jumped in, bought those. Then late in the day, they were buying the April 80 calls, the Aprils that expired today. They were buying them yesterday. Well, how'd that work out? Well, University of Chicago came out and said that they had a test on only 125 people, unlike that hydrochloroquine test that I talked about last week that was in France for hydrochloroquine and whatever, I think it was a Z-Pak, a combination of hydrochloroquine and Z-Pak, and that was on 1,000+ patients. This one was only 125 patients, but the results were strong. And for that reason, our market rallied, and of course, this stock rallied. And there is where those August 80 calls went. From call it $6, call it 650, wherever you want, they went all the way to $12.50 today. Bang! That, my friends, is a double. And what do you do when you get a double? You take half the money off the table. That's what you do. Again, that's what I do. That's because I've been a trader for 38 years, and I want to put that money where it belongs, in my pocket. So that's what I did. Took off half this position, took off all of my April position, which was a gift. Thank you very much for that nice gift, folks. I encourage all of you to set your own limits for losses as well as profits, because that's how you stay in this game a long time. All right, fresh meat, 3 at 3. Let's take a look. FCX, Freeport. They came in and bought nearly 10,000 of the May 10 calls. So that means a million share equivalent. First bit of information. Big trade. I like that. Second bit, out of the money. Stock's trading $8.37 and they're buying the 10 strike calls. Okay. Paid 24 cents. That's $24 because every option's for 100 shares of stock. You're getting this, right? All right. So as you see 10,000 of those, a million share equivalent, what's 10,000 times 25 bucks? Anybody? Anybody? $250,000. That's why I like to follow the smart money, because somebody thinks they know something here. And here we have, it's already moved up today now from, where was it this morning? Well, actually this afternoon it was $8.37. I guess it's still the same, $8.30, but it's 9.5% higher than where we closed yesterday. Bang, keep an eye on it. Valero, big refiner. Somebody buys 10,000 calls in Valero. No, I'm sorry, 10,000 puts. I apologize. 10,000 puts in Valero. Why? Well, maybe because this stock has run like a, I mean, you know what it's run like. You'll see in the next page that this one has had a monster run off of a nice move. Well, somebody's betting by buying a whole bunch of Jan 35 puts. Somebody wanted to sell a whole bunch of those Jan 35 puts. And they wanted to put that money in their pocket. In other words, they're willing to be the insurance company here, folks. They have given somebody else, they've sold somebody else the right to put the stock to them. The owner of the stock, of the options has rights. The seller of the option, in this case, this big trader, he has or she has obligations. So they're obligated to buy it at 35 bucks a share. And they collected almost $4. Let's call it $4.50. Pick a number in between. Let's say they collected $4.50 for these. That means if they're put stock basically at $30.50. Why? Because they're obligated to buy the stock at 35, but they collected $4.50. Again, that would mean that they have an obligation to buy the stock, but that premium offsets it to where the pain only occurs if it goes below $30.50. Here's the chart. So hasn't been, even on the lows of this move, below $30.50. But look at that nice progression to the upside. It's gone up, backed and filled, gone up, backed and filled, and now it's back to 50 bucks and 74 cents a share. When we saw it this morning, it was 47.65. So in other words, this one's rallied 3 bucks already. I bet these puts have shrunk a little, don't you? That's right. Keep an eye on them. That's the second for 3 at 3. Third for 3 at 3, ACM. So in this one, May 35 calls. They step in and buy 5,000 of them. That's 500,000 shares worth, right? 500,000 share equivalent, because 5,000, you put 2 more zeros on the end because it's for 100 shares of stock. And you get the idea. 5,000 of these 35 calls for $1.70. So what does that mean? They paid almost $1 million for these May 35 calls. Again, 1 month into the future. So May 35 calls, paid almost $2, $1.76 for these, and bought 5,000 of them pretty quick with the stock at $32.52. Where is it now? Still right about there, $32.59. And that means that we're able to be in here and riding right along with that smart money that did this trade earlier today for, as you saw, $1.76. So that is our 3 at 3 for today, folks. If you're a client, you can join us for the cocktail party that starts in a little over an hour. Other than that, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope whatever you're doing, if you can, that you might join us tomorrow for our Benzinga. I'm going to be doing an options special with Benzinga tomorrow at about 3 o'clock Eastern time. No, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern with Benzinga. So check it out. I'll retweet it again, but you could check it out. Should be a good time. A lot of nice instructors that are going to be giving presentations tomorrow, and I'm giving mine at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here either with Benzinga tomorrow, or I'll see